It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
What is reality? Reality is what we believe to be true about the nature of our surroundings. But how do we come to decide that true nature? Do we conceive it completely on our own? Or do other devices gently sway our thoughts onto a pre-decided path? This is the hard question we must all ask ourselves as free humans on this planet. Who sculpts your reality?
Reality. Wednesday nights, 9/11 on RadioFreeRadio.com.
Radio Free Radio. Radio Free Radio. Radio Free Radio.
Hey y'all, this is Ronnie Dale Martin Jr. and I gotta tell you, man, this Radio Free Radio thing is quite awesome. And since I spent all my money on steering wheel covers and Marlboros, I need you guys to donate $1 over at Patreon. That site is patreon.com/Radio Free Radio. If you ain't heard about it, you need to get on over there and give your $1. On RadioFRadio.com.
What's up, Internet? This is George of the Chocolate Milk and Waffle Show.
And I'm Terrell K. Mercer, also of the Chocolate Milk and Waffle Show.
And we would like to invite you to tune in every Thursday from 8 to 9 on RadioFRadio.com.
Found a happy place. It's a game show. That's right, a radio game show where we can have a few laughs as the contestants battle for the big or not so big prize. It's an adult show, guys. Our first episode is Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on RadioFRadio.com.
Adolani said WDMF.
It's deprogrammed. My name is Justin Wilson. I'm a host dude. I'm a guy with a microphone. Yeah. I gotta apologize. Last week I was pretty sick, and so I didn't get a chance. Actually, it's basically I've been dealing with this for like 2 weeks now. I didn't get to really do my homework for Dave Matthews, which thankfully it was a please explain, and there wasn't much homework. It just, I took away all my veto power.
Yeah.
That's a bummer, man. Like, that's the funnest part of doing a please explain, is being able to say, nah, man, that song, no, we ain't, nah, that song ain't in. But, so, I missed that. But, and you know what? I got to listen to everything this week, so that's a bonus. I didn't get to cram, like, I didn't really get to examine all the music like I wanted to. We're talking Faith No More today. I was still really sick most of last week. Still not even completely 100% over it, but you know, it's life, man. You gotta work sick, Jack. And thankfully for me, working is standing in front of a microphone, so that ain't too bad. So a couple things for you to think about. Patreon.com/Radio Free Radio. We'd really appreciate it if you visited the Patreon. All of our stuff is there, man. Every single show that this station does is there, and you can listen to it there, and listen to it in post because it's great. And you can also, for just $1 a month, really help us. Like, you can help this little independent radio station fly, man. Like, I mean, we need funds, and actually, this just in. There'll be more on this soon, and I'm pointing at you, camera, so you better be listening to me. October the 22nd, All Day You Drunks 2 is happening. We're going to set a goal this year of $500. Again, none of this is set in stone except for the date. Matt and I just came up with it, like we were passing. I was on the way back out to the studio. I had to make pee-pee. I'm not feeling well. You can tell because I'm just offering things up. Ooh, Peter wants to show video.
Ooh, we got Peter.
Accept. I'm going to accept that. Hey, Peter, how you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you for joining us.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Okay.
Can't see you, though.
Yeah, I don't have a video on that computer, so unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let me set this up. It was initially going to be Jenny Zell returning again. Last time you were here was what, Super Drag?
Yeah.
The super duper super drag, which we both really enjoyed, and it was a full-on Discovery app. And this was sort of going to be the same thing. It was you had discovered them just a couple months ago.
It's probably been about a year, like when their last album came out, basically.
And I am basically coming in fresh-faced, and Taylor has been a fan of them for a while. And Taylor Lavoie, also known as King Canada, as is tradition, he was going to be our guide through it. And unfortunately, he asked for the time off, and his work said, you know what, yeah. And then day of, they were like, you know what, nah. So he's working. So unfortunately, he had to pull out, but you had backup plans. And that backup plan is our guest on the Skype machine, Peter Gardner.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So we're going to be talking to Faith No More tonight. And I guess as the seasoned Faith No More fan, Peter, tell us about what it is about Faith No More that you love.
Their diversity. The best way I describe their music to other people is that picture the White Album by the Beatles, but as a hard rock band.
Oh.
Because they dip into so many different styles and genres of music while still kind of having their feet planted in hard rock, that to me, it's just mind-blowing. And that, like, they've influenced so many other bands since their time, so that, like, when I try to play them for people now, people are like, oh, this just sounds like, you know, Korn or Foo Fighters. Or it's like, yeah, but this came like 4 years earlier. Like, this influenced them.
And you know, until I started listening, like, I never even thought about it. But, like, I did that same thing where, like, oh, man, this sounds like... And then in my head, I'm like, yeah, but this was before that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Doesn't Mike Patton have beef with the Chili Peppers or Strike That, Reverse It?
Strike That, Reverse It. What happened was Epic came out, and Anthony Kiedis, and a lot of us thought that Mike Patton was just ripping off Anthony Kiedis' style, when actually Mike Patton didn't really give a shit about the Chili Peppers and was still trying to find his own way. So, flash forward to I believe 1999. His other band, Mr. Bungle, they were scheduled to play a bunch of festivals in Australia, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers were also going to be on the bill. But since they were headliners, they got to have say on who would be playing with them and who wouldn't. And they had Mr. Bungle kicked off the bill because they didn't like Mike Patton.
Oh.
And in response, Mr. Bungle did a Halloween show where they dressed up as the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they had heroin needles stuck in their arms, and they played shitty versions of Scar Tissue and stuff like that.
That's fantastic.
That is great, actually. What's funny is that is literally if I had to point to a spot where the Chili Peppers became a non-issue for me, it's pretty much right around Californication.
Yeah, they had a few good songs on that, and then the rest was not so good.
I mean, for a while, it took me a while to completely fall out, but Stadium Arcadium came out, and I was like, the initial, man, it's a double record, cool, kind of drew me in, but then I don't know.
Good.
It didn't hold me. And
it could have been a single album. You could have pulled out a lot of crap from that album and had a decent single album.
It's true. But we're not here to talk about Red. I just thought that was my friend, my brother Rob. He's actually a huge Faith No More fan. And so Faith No More has actually been a peripheral band for me for a really long time. And actually, as a matter of fact, I think maybe a decade ago, I actually listened, he let me borrow Angel Dust. And so going back and listening to it, a lot of stuff just kind of struck those chords with me already. And this is very much, it's not a band you're going to point at and say, this is a Justin Wheelhouse band, but it's pretty damn close. It's like Peter was saying, they're very diverse. And I didn't expect that because, obviously you hear the epics, and even though Last Cup of Sorrow is different, it's, still similar enough. They're close enough to where you think you have their sound pegged. Nah, man, not even close. I like that there's a little bit of horns in there. There's some acoustic songs. There's a little bit of everything. There's some loungier songs. I'm into that, man. And
he'll even bust out and sing in Portuguese on one of the songs.
Yeah.
Because why not? Because he can.
No, go ahead.
And unlike a lot of other hard rock bands, when they do a cover, they won't cover a hard rock song. They'll do something like really soft AM radio, like Burt Bacharach's "This Guy's in Love with You" or "Easy" by the Commodores, just to get the metalheads in the audience to sing along with a cheesy song like that.
Yeah, I saw that at the bottom of one of the records, and I'm like, huh, what is this? And then as it's playing, I'm like, oh, okay, I know this song. Yeah. So, again, I apologize. I didn't get to delve into the band I was able to listen to enough to be able to pull out 20 songs. But when I do a discovery, I really like to be able to pick it apart. I like to be able to talk about the songs a little bit. And unfortunately, I didn't have the time. I've been put on my ass. I lost all of last Wednesday, and then most of Thursday. And then so I spent Friday trying to recoup, trying to come back from that. And then, the weekend being the weekend, it's time with the family, and just it is what it is. I'm not trying to make excuses. I feel bad because I feel like this is a way better band than I'm going to be able to do it justice. I'm going to do my best.
At least you gave him a listen. You gave it an honest try. So
yeah, and again, I heard all 7. We put together 71 songs, which I think is actually everything other than a B-side, a compilation record. So again, I rather enjoyed it, and it just bums me out that I, maybe at least one more day, I could have been able to give it true and honest assessment. So Jenny, you jumped in a year ago, and it was this again at the at Peter's.
Yeah, actually, he wrote a blog kind of introducing Faith No More to everyone on our our website for Mouthy Broadcast.
Right.
And he was kind of like, hey, you know, Faith No More is not just a one-hit wonder band. There's not just Epic. There's many, many albums that you should listen to, and they're all fantastic. So, you know, I read that, and I knew the new album was coming out, so I kind of just started listening to it, and I'm like, holy shit, these guys are fantastic. Why have I not been listening to them?
Yeah.
And they became one of my favorite bands in that past year.
I love... I don't know any of the names. I know Mike Patton, obviously, just from his antics, I guess. Yeah, I guess you could say. But I love the bass in this band. Like,
Billy Gould is the bass player.
It's such a tight, great sound. Like it's big. Like he's present in every song, and sometimes it feels like he's the forefront of the song, and it's like, man, I dig that. And like you were saying before, like there's times where like it's not necessarily what Fieldy from Korn was doing, but you can tell that's where Fieldy adopted it. Like just that like a chugging sound that he's doing. I don't know, man. I really dug this band, and I'm really upset with myself that like, why couldn't this have been last week? Like again, like last week was Dave Matthews Band, and nothing against Dave Matthews Band, just I didn't have to do any work for that.
Right.
I hate that I didn't put in the work for my own show. It really bums me out.
Hey, you can always take the list and then go back later and then listen to them all and then kind of fill in what you missed.
It's true. And you know, hopefully, at some point I'm going to have to take a break from this show, because I'm almost to the point now where it's going to all be discoveries.
Yeah.
Whew. That's going to be tough. So, the name of the game and the name of the show, coincidentally, is Deprogrammed. And what we like to do is we get together some fans, or in this case, you know, people who are new to the band, and we each come up with our own, you know, 20 or so songs that we're going to try to cram together to make a starter kit for the band that we're discussing. And today, that band, again, is Faith No More. So, with that being in mind, each of us is going to pick a song from our list. If it is on 2 of ours, then it comes back into the conversation for later. If it's on all 3 of our lists, it is automatically in the top 10. As it goes, I guess maybe when we get to the conversation part, we can each play, like if you're drawing blanks from your other panel members, let's hear a little bit of that song, and we can play, you know, a couple second clip from that song, just so, you know, everybody's familiar with it. With that being said, so one of the first songs, I actually put all the songs together on Spotify, and I was listening on my phone. I don't have the paid version, so like I could only listen in shuffle, and I was like, you know what, that'll be fine. I'll listen to it in shuffle instead of in order on each album. And the first song that jumped out to me was Get Out. And so I'm going with Get Out first. Does anybody else have Get Out?
I do not.
And here we go.
And I saw
So
that one.
begins.
I saw that it was a first track, and it's a great first track, and I was like, Justin's gonna do this. He's gonna play it, but I can't. I don't have room.
I love it, but it's not on my list.
That's okay. These things happens. Lots, believe me.
Yeah.
Jenny.
All right, I'm gonna start off with one of my favorites, Land of Sunshine.
Ooh, yes, I have that.
I have that too.
Oh,
yeah.
There we go. I feel like I don't. Listening to it, if that song felt like a staple. That felt like a Faith No More staple. Again, that sounds ridiculous coming out of my mouth, considering I don't know the band. But I'm listening to it, I'm like, this sounds like this should be something people need to hear for Faith No More.
It's also kind of a ballsy move, because it was the first track on the album that they followed up Epic with. So this was the public's introduction to their new style, and I think Land of Sunshine as like the first song on the album is a pretty ballsy choice, because it sounds like Faith No More, but it's definitely not Epic.
Right.
They're like, this is our new sound. This is us now. This is what you're gonna hear from now on.
Yeah, get used to it.
All right, Peter, you are up, good sir.
Also off of Angel Dust, this is the one that I would point to for people only familiar with Epic if I were trying to get them into Faith No More. I picked Midlife Crisis.
Yes.
I have that one. It's
Oh,
in my
snap.
honorable.
We doing all right.
Um,
Justin's going to be the weak link today, folks.
Well, I think I maybe have, a little bit of bias because, I read Peter's blog and kind of read, the stuff that I should be listening to and kind of saw the highlights and stuff.
Right.
So, I probably came into this with a little bit of a bias.
That's all right. It happens.
With that song, it's like you listen to the verse and you listen to the way that the bass and the drums sound, and you listen to the way that Mike Patton's singing. You're like, man, Korn totally ripped these guys off, like bad.
Yeah.
But then he gets to like the soaring chorus, and it just sounds like the stadium rock chorus until you realize that he's singing about menstruation. And it's just like a classic troll Faith No More move to do.
Yeah.
It's a good way to describe them.
They are
They're-
trolls.
They're trolls.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like them so much,
Yeah.
honestly.
You know what? Yeah, like just some of the things I read, like the Chili Peppers thing, and that's funny to me. I dig that. All right, so let me see. I get the feeling I'm going to miss a lot, and I need to be okay with that right now. So I'm going to step out of the box. I'm going to go with Strip Search.
I have it.
Ooh.
I have that too.
That was
Oh!
wow. That was a very late ad because I posted something about it earlier on Facebook.
Right.
And Brian Lewis was talking about how Album of the Year was his favorite.
Right.
And it was honestly like one of my lesser favorites. I hate to say it's like my least favorite because it's a good album, but
Yeah.
there's other ones that are so much higher. So I went back and I listened to some of the songs that he pointed out, and I was like, yeah, I gotta put Strip Search on here because it's so different.
Yeah, it's mainly electronic. The guitars didn't really come in until like the end, really. It's and they also released it as a single, which was again pretty ballsy of them.
Yeah, a lot of their singles are really interesting choices. I'll put it that way.
Like they never tried to catch the success of Epic. They were just like, okay, we're doing our own thing now. You're either with us or you're not.
See, I like that, because, a lot of bands will take that, man, Epic hit big. Now let's write Epic Part 2 on the next record, and
Right.
let's try to coast off that. And they didn't do that. I dig that. I dig that a lot. I played Strip Search, so
Yeah.
Jenny, you are up.
Well, I think in the vein of weird choices for singles, I'm going to go with Motherfucker. Because nothing says radio friendly like Motherfucker over and over and over again.
Nice.
I've got that one too.
Oh.
Because it was their first single from their reunion, and people are like, "What? This doesn't sound like Faith No More. What is this?" And I was like, "This is awesome. This sounds like fucking Faith No More. This is something they would do."
Exactly.
I do not have that, but two of you do. It is in the conversation for later. Peter.
I'm gonna throw in "We Care a Lot."
Yeah.
I have that one too.
Snap.
I kind of write off a lot of their stuff from the two albums that they did before Mike Patton joined the band because the original singer sucked ass. Like he sounded like he was drunk the entire time.
He may have been.
But
Possible.
if you take away his vocals, the music was still really good, and "We Care a Lot" is a great song, and it's catchy. It has kind of, and the whole song is sarcastic. They don't care about all that shit. But I don't know. I think it's kind of one of their staples. It's always been in their live shows, and it's fun to sing along to.
Yeah. And it's definitely like one of the more polished songs off of the earlier albums.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I had a lot of problems listening to I had no problems listening to. I had a lot of problems pulling anything from those first two records. I feel like starting from the third one on is when I really started getting in.
Yeah.
All right. So we are doing really well. There's 4 already in. That's great. We are doing great. Let's get Justin in here to go ahead and screw that up. I'm trying to figure which one's going to fall on its face. Let's go. Surprise, you're dead.
You know what? I think I have that one.
Oh, snap.
Hold on. You know what? I think that was like a last-minute cut.
Oh.
No, I found it. I do
Ooh.
have it.
Alrighty. Peter?
I love it, but I don't have it on my list.
Well, it will be in the conversation for later in case we need it. We may not. The way we're coasting. We are coasting. Jenny?
I'm going to go with another kind of unconventional one also from their, I can't remember the name of it, but the one with Epic on it. And I got to say this too. I love Mike Patton's voice. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. But I also love when a band writes a great song and knows when to leave the vocals out. And Woodpecker from Mars is a fantastic instrumental.
I've got it.
Nice.
I've got that too.
I don't, but I love that song because it's such a weird instrumental to have in the middle of that album.
It's really weird. That's what stood out to me. I was like, are there vocals? Oh, no vocals. Okay. I'm into that. And I feel like it was later in the record too, wasn't it?
I think so, like the second to last track or something like that.
It's just a weird place for it. So, all right, Peter?
I'm going to throw in something from King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. It's another one of them stretching out into different genres. It's Just a Man.
No.
And it's them kind of taking a gospel-sounding chorus and applying it to their sound, and even going so far as to having gospel singers come in at the end, and it just feels like this whole big build-up to the final track of the album.
I actually loved that song, and it was actually tough for me to cut that one.
Yeah, me too. But
I think I played myself a little. I always do. Every week I play myself a little.
you kind of have to a little bit, I think. Like after you know, I've only done like 5 of these shows or whatever.
Yeah.
But after a while, it's like I know that you're gonna be heavy on first tracks if you're good. So like you kind of like I keep that in mind when I'm on the show. Like you start playing the game a little bit.
Yeah, you play the game. You got to play the game. Well, again, the idea is to come up with 10 songs between the 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
So, and most weeks I feel this way. I don't think that there's necessarily a bad song that's going to be able to get through.
Right.
I genuinely enjoyed all of their catalog.
Yeah.
So, I feel okay with pretty much whatever's going to get through. This one hit me hard. Well, no, you know what? I'm not playing that one. This was the second one that hit me while I was listening through. I'm not feeling as strong about this one as I was the one I was about to play. I'm going to go with Got That Feeling.
No, I don't have that one.
Nope.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's fine. It's fine. Nobody likes me.
We love you, Justin.
Jenny, you are up.
Okay, I'm going to go with Ricochet.
Oh, my God. Tell me that made
Nope.
it. I know I did have it. I know I loved it.
I just love the line, it's always funny until someone gets hurt, and then it's just hilarious. That is like my favorite line.
I don't have that.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Peter.
Let's see. Okay, this one would probably have some agreement. Ashes to Ashes.
Yes.
I swear I had that, but it's hard to remember when I had it, because I know I did. No, it didn't. But let me pull it. What were you saying, Peter?
I was just gonna say it has such a good chorus. Like every time I hear it, I want to sing along with it. It's just like, the lyrics don't make a whole lot of sense, but that's Mike Patton for you.
It's a really nice visual. I mean, even if it doesn't necessarily make sense, it sounds great. So it's smiling with the mouth of the ocean. I can't remember the next line, but yeah. When it's on, I'm like singing along with it and just pretending like I know all the words, so that's what counts.
Then I'll wave to you with the eyes of the mountain.
There you go.
All right. So it is me. The Gentle Art of Making Enemies.
Ooh, I think I have that one. Yes.
Yes.
I don't, but when I hear that song, I'm like, System of a Down heard this at one point and was like, we should do something like that.
A lot of these, I did this. I can't remember which band it was. Steely Dan, where a name would draw me in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm looking at this song's coming up next, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna pay attention to this one because it's got a cool name. And you know, sometimes that sucks, but like when you're doing it in such a short period of time, sometimes that's what you need. You need something to point in the right direction. But yeah, a very, I can't say a System of a Down feel because this was first, but yeah, like if you like System of a Down, you'll likely like this song.
Yeah.
Jenny?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Smaller and Smaller.
I've got that.
Yeah.
I think I do not. Nope.
I like that one because it had a sound a little bit like Epic in a couple places, like where the guitars kind of sounded similar, but to me it was just an overall better song. So
It's a lot heavier. It's it's almost hardcore, I'd say.
There it is. I found it.
I seen it.
All right, Peter, you are up, good sir.
Let me go with Zombie Eaters.
Oh, I think I had that one. That was kind of a late cut for me.
I don't. I do not have that.
It was on The Real Thing, and it's kind of like a more progressive rock sound. Like it starts off kind of moody and then gets heavy at the end.
Yeah. Actually, really dug it, and it was I want to say it was an initial, because with this one, what I did was because I had them all in the same place, I just didn't delete it, and so like it made my initial, I don't know, it trimmed down to probably 50. And then that's when I started getting a little aggressive with them. So, oh man, that means I'm up. Let me take a look at what we're doing here. Just as a reminder, we've already got Land of Sunshine, Midlife Crisis, Strip Search, easy enough for me to say, and We Care a Lot in. They are in, so we're almost halfway through.
We're killing it.
I hate doing this because, you know, we've already made mention of my affinity for track ones. I'm going to go Collision.
I do not have that one.
I don't.
You know, it's better that you don't. Somebody needs to knock me off my track one thing. Like,
well, the funny thing about that one is that I felt like it was too sudden as a track one. Like it just dumps you right into the album, which is I like the artistry of that and like what they were going for in it, but at the same time I just personally didn't like it. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. Yeah. But to me that's all, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
A tone, setting the tone for the record is so important for me. And I need to like, because I've been it's been shown to me like Blur. There's bands that don't necessarily have great track ones that are way better than you're going to give them if all you're going by is track ones. And I didn't just go by track ones here, obviously, but
you do have a bias.
I have a bias, and I need to get over that.
That's your thing, man.
It's my thing, Jenny.
All right, I'm gonna go with Superhero.
I've got that.
Invictus. I love that song. I think that was their other single off of Sol Invictus, right?
Yeah, that was the second single, and that one sounded more like conventional Faith No More, where everybody was like, "Oh, okay, it really is them. They're back."
I feel bad because I didn't give Sol Invictus like the proper level. I've got a couple that made it through, but I didn't give it the proper.
That one I thought was probably my second favorite album of theirs. And what I loved about it was that they took off like, I don't know, like 10 years or something in between two albums.
Right.
And they came back. I mean, granted, like I caught up in that couple of months before the album came out, but it was like there was no gap. Like I didn't listen to it and say like, oh, they obviously took 10 years off. Like it was perfect. Like it was like they never stopped. Record. Yeah, it was exactly what they needed to do. So
and it was a rare comeback album that didn't suck.
It's true. I mean, again, like it's nothing against. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it just had that stigma of being the latest release. because I've noticed that I do that a lot, is where I'll just give a lot of love to some of the older records. Maybe I was playing the game and didn't even realize it. Maybe I just assumed that, that was not going to be a favorite. So I don't know. Sometimes I play the game and I don't even know I'm playing.
And again, if you didn't really have that much time because you were sick and other things were going on or whatever, like that's the last one. If you're going through them in order, then that's going to be the last one that you get to.
Yeah.
You just can't listen to it as much.
Yeah,
so.
that's true too. So
I loved Soul Invictus, but it's just that as a longtime fan, I've been living with these older songs for like 20 years now.
Yeah.
So the newest one hasn't really sunk in as much as the other ones have. I mean, it's still a great record. It's just I have more attachment to the older stuff.
See, and that would be my assumption in playing the game, is that, well, maybe I don't pull too much from this because people are going to have attachments to a lot of the older stuff. So, let's see. This is Peter's play?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm glad you're keeping track.
I'm gonna approach the elephant in the room and throw Epic in there.
Oh.
I did not include Epic.
Yeah, I didn't even actually. I'm going to be honest. I didn't even listen to it.
Hipsters.
We've all heard it like 50,000 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a good song.
It is.
And
it is.
It is.
It gave them attention to where I don't think we would have paid attention to their later stuff had they not gotten the exposure from Epic. So I think it deserves some credit.
I think it's fair, and I think it does need to be in the conversation. I'm glad one of us actually manned up and did it, because there's no way I was gonna. But it does deserve it. And it's not like it's a bad song. I actually really enjoy it when I listen to it. It's just I've heard it like literally a million times. So.
And they haven't disowned it. They play it every concert. They make it clear that like that's not their only song, but they still play it because they know people like it.
Yeah. Well, good for them then.
And usually I avoid songs like that with deprogram lists because I feel like everybody's already heard it.
Yeah.
So like, why do you need to hear more songs, that you've already heard? Like when you guys were doing Oasis a couple months ago or whatever, and there was like Wonderwall.
Yeah.
Like I never would have played that because like everybody's heard it.
Yeah.
So. But then as I'm coming into the studio and Keith and Sarah are in here and they're like, I've never heard of Faith No More ever. Yeah. So maybe they should listen to Epic.
Yeah, maybe. It's funny about the Oasis episode is Bob was making fun of me and Jess because we were trying to stay away from like the Wonderwalls and the well-known ones.
Right.
And Bob was just coming hard with the hits, and I'm like, well, I mean, those songs deserve to be in the conversation. They absolutely do. It's just, do they belong on the list is the real question.
Right.
And ultimately, I feel like a lot of the times, no, it doesn't. Like Creep with Radiohead. I can understand it being in the conversation, but that's no. People don't need to hear that to understand Radiohead at all. No.
Right.
So, all right. So it is my turn. Man, I don't even know anymore. We're talking about songs that the names drew me in. Naked in Front of the Computer.
I love that name also just for that reason. And I wanted to add it just because of the name.
I think ultimately that may have been like, I kept coming back to the name. I'm like, this is a good song. It's got a great name. I don't know.
I had a couple of them like that where I was like, God, I want to add it just because of the name. Like Jizz Lobber, I think, was one of the other ones. Like,
yes.
That's perfect. It goes back to them being trolls,
Yeah. Jenny.
Oh, let's see. Caffeine.
Oh, my God.
That almost made my list.
Mine too, actually. Peter.
Let's see. Digging the Grave.
Oh, God, that was a good one.
I do not have that one.
I don't either.
Damn.
I know. The thing is, like, it sticks out. Like, you say the name, and I'm like, I remember it. So, I mean, that's a good sign, especially for, like, a 2-day, 1.5 day thing. And, now I hate myself. But that's okay. Let me go with, I'm going to go with Everything's Ruined.
I've got that.
I do have that one.
Oh, snap.
That's one of my favorites.
That's a great track.
I almost couldn't put that one on there just because I loved that one so much early on that I played the shit out of it. And like I wore it out on like the Spotify track itself is worn out because of me listening
You
to
cannot
it.
push play on this.
Have you ever seen the music video for it?
Oh, I didn't even realize there was one.
It's their budget was like $10 or something. Like they're standing in front of a blue screen and it's all like stock footage that, they pulled from, whatever archive. And I guess it's because it was at the end of Angel Dust's run and the album wasn't performing as well as the label thought it would. So like they were just not giving them any more money for promotional shit. So it's just them like acting like goofballs in front of a blue screen and just being trolls for the entire song.
It sounds like it was at least still better than the Spoon Man video.
Spoon Man!
Sorry, I hate that video. I'll bring it back up again on the Soundgarden episode.
Ah, yes. That'll be coming up eventually.
Triggered.
Let's see. I played that, so it's Jenny's turn.
Yep. Okay, so I've got Star AD.
I got that.
I don't.
I love the horns in that.
Yeah, that's what I kept coming back to.
It sounds like it sounds like the music that they would play like when they're cutting to a commercial on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. It's just that's what I always think of when I hear that song.
Yeah, it just had this like kind of big like swing kind of sound to it almost or something, and I love that it was just so different on that album, So.
Yeah, I agree. Peter.
Let's see. Ugly in the Morning.
Oh.
I love that one, but
yeah,
not on my list.
Same here.
Because that's me every morning.
Oh.
It's just like a fast and punky song, and
yeah,
I don't know.
Unfortunately, not on the list.
No. All right. I don't know what I'm feeling here. I feel like we got that. How about? Again, this is a lesser known single, but of all of their singles, I guess it's probably the second most known single. I went with "Last Cup of Sorrow."
I wanted to add that one, and I couldn't make any more room.
Yeah, I wanted that, but I think I subbed it out.
That was when I watched the video for that earlier too, when I was talking to Brian about it. It's basically like a 4-minute version of Vertigo by Alfred Hitchcock.
Nice.
And it's, Mike Patton and just replaying the whole movie, and it was great.
I liked the sound of it. I like
the bells, the keyboard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it belongs in the conversation because I feel like, again, Epic's the one that people talk about. I feel like comparatively, Last Cup of Sorrow is actually, in my personal opinion, a better song. So at least it made the conversation. I'm okay with that. I brought it up. All right, Jenny.
All right, I'm down to honorables. Should I go ahead and just start naming some off?
Yeah, just blast out a couple.
Let's see. I got Separation Anxiety.
Yeah, I got that.
I don't. Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's
We're doing great, Peter.
game.
We are doing great.
My turn?
Yes, sir.
Evidence.
Oh, I've got that one.
Oh, let me find that. Which record is that?
King for a Day.
There it is.
It's them doing the sleazy lounge song.
Yeah. Yes.
I think I love that one even more because the live performance they did on, what was it, like Yahoo or something last year. I for some reason that song stood out to me as just even better live.
And that's the one that they sing in Spanish and Portuguese just for the fuck of it sometimes. Just because he can.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's see. I think we've got a good list here going. So how about we'll each give out one more honorable?
All right.
Man, which one do I play? I'll go with The Morning After.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
No. Okay. Jenny?
I'm going to go with Sunny Side Up.
Oh, I got it.
I don't.
All right, Peter?
Let's see. Mouth to Mouth.
Oh, my God. Damn. I don't have that one.
That one, I felt like it was his Mr. Bungle influence starting to seep into Faith No More.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt like there were a couple songs where it's like more circusy. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I can dig that.
Yeah.
I didn't pull them over, but... All right, so we've got 5 in already. We've got Land of Sunshine, Midlife Crisis, Everything's Ruined, Strip Search, and We Care a Lot are in.
So we've got a lot of Angel Dust already.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Let's see. I'm gonna briefly run down the in the combo list, and then we'll start discussing them and try to fill out these last 5 spots. We got Motherfucker, Superhero, which that's just fun to say. Motherfucker. Superhero, Sunny Side Up, Surprise, You're Dead, Star AD, Evidence, Separation Anxiety, Woodpecker from Mars, Ashes to Ashes, The Gentle Art of Making Enemies, and Smaller and Smaller. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. I don't know why I'm counting it when I can just do this. It's much easier to do 2 clicks. We've got 11 that we need to trim down to 5. So of those 11, do any of them seem like they really just don't belong in this conversation anymore? So we just knock them on out?
I could lose Sunny Side Up.
Yeah.
I like it, but I mean it was kind of lower on my list.
All right. Yeah, it just kind of eked in there at the end.
Yeah.
So, let's see. That brings us down to 10. You've been the fan the longest, Peter. Is there any that are jumping out at you as, man, I don't know why these guys picked that, or...
I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but...
That's okay.
Just do it.
I would leave off Star AD.
Okay.
Not that it's a bad song, but to me it's not essential.
All right. We are down to 9 then. That's good. Looks like we have a relatively decent balance here, too, of the records.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go through. We're down to, what did I say, 8? 9? 9. Motherfucker, Superhero, Separation Anxiety, Woodpecker from Mars, Surprise You're Dead, The Gentle Art of Making Enemies, Evidence, Ashes to Ashes, Smaller and Smaller.
I could almost leave out Smaller and Smaller also because we've already got 3 tracks from Angel Dust on the list, so...
Yeah, and we have some other songs that sound like that, so if we're going for like a representative list, then I think we could drop that.
Alrighty. We're doing good here. 1, 2. This is one of the most agreeable episodes of Deprogrammed ever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here I am counting again. 8. All right. So now we've got to trim out 3 more, and I think now is the time to start making cases for songs. I'll go through these again, and if there's a song you want to make a case for, just stop me. Motherfucker, Superhero, Separation Anxiety, Woodpecker from Mars.
I kind of want to make a case for that one.
All right. Now, this was the instrumental.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear a little bit of it? Let's see if we can get that up here.
I mean, I just love this one because it's so different, and it throws in just a completely different sound into the mix.
All right. Let's get a couple seconds of this. Or not. It's fine. They don't have a lot of slow opens like this.
Mhm.
They usually hit the point right out of the bat.
Right.
And we're already at, we're going to have to go forward a little. There we go. Good Lord.
There's that bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is one of those songs, like, even though it's an instrumental, like, it's to Peter's point early on, where you can tell that they influenced a lot of bands.
Yeah.
And, you know, they may not get listed as an influence, but all you have to do is listen to them and you'll get it.
Right.
Man, how do you feel about that, Peter?
I'm for that, and I think they don't have a lot of instrumentals, so I think including that would be important.
There we go. It also has, despite the fact that it doesn't have vocals, I feel like it definitely has. It's a Faith No More song.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't lose the vocals, and suddenly it's not a Faith No More song anymore. So,
Right.
Okay, so we'll put that one on through. Woodpecker from Mars.
I'd fight for Motherfucker.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't say no to that.
It was their comeback single after like 14 years on hiatus, and it was such an unconventional choice for as their return to, you know, the music scene. And I think that we've got to have something from Sol Invictus on the list.
I am not against it. I'm going to play like a couple seconds of it just to refresh my memory, but you guys know better than me, but I'm going to play it just so I can have a refresher.
I think this is kind of a slower open too.
Yeah, it's a slow burn.
Which might have been why I passed over it, which again, I mean, it's not fair, but when you've got 71 to get through.
Right.
Also, what's weird for them is that this is Roddy Bottum, the keyboardist, singing the verses, not Mike Patton.
Oh.
Patton doesn't come in until the chorus.
Oh. Let's give it a couple seconds here.
Bloated, promoted in an ode to pomp and style. Moisten in the feet
I dig
while
it.
we choke upon the bile. Corner in the market.
Yeah, I dig that.
I love that march kind of sound.
Yeah.
That it has.
Let's give it a couple more seconds here.
Gotta get that chorus.
Like I said, this is the
Perfect
most
radio
radio
song. Yeah.
unfriendly song they could have chosen.
Yeah, that's in. Yeah.
And it's such a good show opener too. They've been opening with that on their past couple of tours, and it just sets the vibe perfectly.
I wasn't gonna stand up against it, but you know, now I've got reason enough to put it through. So it's through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Let me make sure. Oh, the joys of it. Yeah, 7. So we only need to get 3 more in. All right. So, and we still have a decent. Do we want that to be it from Saul? Because we have 2 others, Superhero and Separation Anxiety.
I keep eyeing Superhero.
Right.
But I just, yeah, I kind of want Superhero on there.
Okay. Let's see. I'm already on Saul too, so that'll be easier. Boop. There we go. Let's get it. Ooh.
So they start out strong on this.
Yeah.
This song is a really great one to put on if you want to drive really fast.
Yeah, I can dig it. You know what? I can dig it. I can dig that.
All right.
Let's get that through.
I won't argue against that.
All right. There we go. So, 2 more. And does that leave Separation Anxiety as the odd man out?
Yeah, I think so. At this point,
Yeah.
I've gotten some of my favorite songs through, so I'm not going to fight for anything.
I'd fight for Ashes to Ashes, just because that's such a great display of Mike Patton's vocal range, because he kind of does this low growl in the verses, and then when he hits the chorus, it's just, you know, you hear why he's one of the best singers in the fucking world.
See, you guys had it. I didn't, and I'm not going to fight it, but it's always a nice excuse to play a little bit of the song. So, oh, well. There we go. Oh, yeah. God, I love the guitar work on pretty much all the records. Oh, Yeah. Yeah, I can dig it. I can dig that.
I love that song.
And I love that they had a keyboard player in a hard rock band at a time when that was kind of unheard of
Yeah.
for a lot of other bands.
And we have got a nice little balance of albums presented here.
I think we don't have anything from King for a Day yet.
Let's see. All we have.
Yeah,
left.
we got to have something up from that on there, because that's a great album.
All right, so the only two that made it through to the combo are Gentle Art of Making Enemies and Evidence. And let me make sure, but I think we're at 9, so this will be the last one. Yep, 9. So this will be the last one.
I could do either one of those, honestly. They're both great songs.
Do you have a leaning either way, Peter?
For the sake of showing how diverse they are, I would say Evidence. But if you want to show how much they can just straight up rock, I would choose Gentle Art.
Let's see. Let's use the excuse. It's fun times. Here's a little bit of Evidence. Oh, they're back to back too. Yeah. Nice little groover.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a single too.
Oh. I'm disturbed by the lack of Faith No More love locally, like on the radio, now that I think about it. Alright, let's get a little bit of Gentle Art. God, it's hard to argue that. Oh, that grabs my heart.
Right. It's tough.
But this is one of those songs that, like, hit the Justin button. You know what I mean? Like, as you're listening to it, that's a Justin song. That's totally a Justin song. So the question that I need to ask myself, am I being selfish? And let me look at what we have in. Because I need to think about not myself, but to those who might want to give Faith No More a chance. Because I feel like we represent their rock side pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to bump Evidence through.
If I had to choose, like, I'm just a hair more towards Evidence, so I'm good with that.
Well, like I said, looking at this, I think we've got their rock side pretty well displayed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to get some of the diversity in there. So, man, not only was that agreeable, it was.
Too easy.
It was a little bit like, but that's fine. You know, we don't need to have arguments in here. It doesn't need to be all tense or nothing. So let's run this down. We got Land of Sunshine, Midlife Crisis, Motherfucker, Superhero, Evidence, Everything's Ruined, Woodpecker from Mars, Strip Search, Ashes to Ashes, and We Care a Lot. That's a damn fine list.
I like it.
That's a damn fine list. So, as a Faith No More veteran, Peter, how did we do? Because Jenny's been on the wagon for a year. I've been on for a week.
Noobs.
Just keep that in mind. Yes.
It's a good list. I think we've got all bases covered here. You've got the pre-patent era covered. You have the rock stuff covered. You have the weird stuff covered. You have the diverse stuff covered, and you've got the new stuff covered. So,
yeah, I feel good about it. I feel really good about it. So, I guess with that being said, that's Faith No More for the week. I don't have one yet. So Fredo's been after me because he's been wanting to do Alice Cooper almost since I started the show. He wants to do Alice Cooper. And I'm like, dude, I'd love to do Alice Cooper, but I need somebody who wants to do Alice Cooper, not just you. And I finally have somebody step up, and I reached out to him, and he's like, let me get back to you. Here it is almost a week later. So we might be talking about Alice Cooper next week. I don't know yet. Who knows? That's obviously going to be like a way condensed down show, because there's no way we're covering his whole No way.
How many albums does he have?
I haven't even looked yet.
576.
But it's too many. It's too many for me to do in a week. That ain't happening. So, and you know, if it doesn't come through, I don't know. I might take the week off. I don't want to, because I really enjoy doing this show, but it's very apparent that I might need some rest. So, that makes me sad. With that being said, let me kick out a few lame things. Patreon.com/Radio Free Radio. $1 a month helps us way more than you even think, man. A dollar a month helps us keep our equipment upgraded. It helps keep the lights on, like pretty literally. The old, we got to pay these bills. We got to keep the lights on. All those things. Yeah, we need to do that stuff. And your dollar helps us with that right now. Also, All Day You Drunks 2 is coming. Soft date of October 22nd. Stuff. There will be a lot of stuff about that coming soon, because we're gonna have to jump on that. Let's see, what else am I missing? Go to our YouTube, youtube.com/Radio Free Radio DMF, and you know what? Like us on the Facebook machine. And yeah, I tied it to my own personal Twitter, so you can follow me at the Hulkster, and talk about any of these. Here's one thing I was gonna forget this, and I'm glad I'm just being rambly here, because I would have forgot this. If I expand Deprogram to a second hour, I need to make sure that we have the content. So if I do, my thought was the first hour would be just like this, where the panel will discuss, we'll come up with a top 10, and the second hour would be just stories about songs by that band, or your personal experiences seeing that band, or, you know, anything like that. So let me know if you think that would be something you'd be into, because people would have to call. I'm not going to be able to just ramble on for an hour about, you know, whatever band, especially if it's a discovery a band that I just learned about. So let me know if you guys would be into that. I've been toying around with the idea of expanding into a second hour, because, you know, sometimes you bump up against the hour. There's still a little bit to talk about, you know what I mean? And we didn't really get into any, like Peter, we didn't get to talk about if he's seen Faith No More. We didn't get to talk about any of that, because as it is, I'm already 9 minutes late. Good thing I run the station.
Exactly.
But these are just things I've been thinking about, and I, for whatever reason, haven't put them out into the universe. Peter, thank you so much for joining us last minute like that, man. That's super awesome of you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Give the Facebook page a like, and yeah, it was great having you. Maybe there's another band you'd like to talk about on there.
Yeah, anytime. That'd
be great. I guess in the meantime, Jenny, always a pleasure. Thank you. You know
of course.
Super unsung hero of the Deprogrammed. Jenny Zell has first of all, she took all my dumb little Facebook design things. They're what I can do. That's what I could manage. And she took them and she made them look great. And she's done, I think, like the last 3 have been all your work. And they're going to be from here on out, because she was like, Justin, stop putting that garbage out.
No, that's not what I said. No, I know you're doing a lot of stuff. You're running the station, you're doing the show, you're listening to all this stuff. And I can only donate $1 a month, really. So I'm like, what else can I do? I can help out by doing some of the paperwork and that kind of thing that you probably don't have time to do.
And the Trello, it's been wonderful. Like just being able to know that the songs are just going to be there for me, and all I have to do is come in, slide them around. Really, that's good times. I really can't thank you enough.
I'm glad it worked out for you. I saw you like scribbling on a piece of paper, and it was like, I was like, there's got to be a better way. Like, that's what I do. I try to think of better ways to do things.
At first, I wanted to keep it that way, just because I like the idea of writing on paper, because I'm one of those guys. And then I'm just like, I don't know, dude. It takes away from the conversation if I have to stop and write something down. So,
right.
Anyways, again, Peter, thank you so much for joining us. Check out the page and see if there's a band that you want to talk with us about. That'd be great.
Hell yeah.
Have a great night, dude. We'll talk to you soon.
You too.
Good night.
And with that being said, Faith No More, learn them and love them, people. We'll be back next week with something.
Maybe.
Whatever. Thing. Bye.